Can you feel that burn? Welcome to the fight, Idaho. Welcome to fighting oligarchy. My name's Nate Roberts. I'm a union member, rank and file union member. International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, and I'm also, there you go, Brotherhood in the house. I'm also the Pocatello Central Labor Council President, AFL-CIO, and I had the pleasure in 23 and 24 to serve in the House of Representatives with my minority leader, Alana Rubel. And I tell you what, there's nothing better than standing in the well of the House and standing up for working families in Idaho. And when they attacked teachers' rights to bargain, I stood up, I spoke out. That's what we need from you. So what do we do when they attack unions? Stand up, speak out. That's right. When they introduced severe changes to unemployment, I stood up, I spoke out, didn't let it happen. And for the first time in 40 years, I worked with my Senator James Ruchti, and we passed right-to-work laws that actually changed some of the issues with right-to-work. So 40-year right-to-work, and we've got to end right-to-work in the state of Idaho. And don't let them tell you that one vote doesn't matter. Because I'll tell you what, when I was in the House Health and Welfare Committee, one vote protected Idaho's Medicaid system for 2 years running. You're talking about a system of health care in the state of Idaho that protects 150,000 children in the state of Idaho. Nearly 350,000 Idahoans through Medicaid. And when I lost my election in 24, they made those changes. They were successful with that one vote because my opponent voted in favor of changing, supposedly, Idaho Medicaid. That's right. But that's why I'm running again for the House of Idaho. So I've got to throw in the obligatory robertsforidaho.com/donate. There, my treasurer said I had to do that, so thank you, Steve Landon. And I'll tell you, all of that happened because I was in the room and at the table. And so how can you do that? Well, I'll tell you my story. 9 years ago, March 2016, Senator Sanders came to Idaho Falls, and I was at that rally. That was the first political event I'd ever attended. And 9 years later, here I am. I'm on the stage at Fighting Oligarchy with Bernie Sanders coming up. And when Bernie lit my fire, when I felt the burn in 2016, I started showing up to events. Started showing up to meetings in my community. Everyone I could find to get a hold of. I started showing up to my union meeting regularly and getting more involved there. I got more involved in my community. I got more involved in my state party. I worked on campaigns, I knocked doors, I made phone calls, I did everything I could. And in 2018, we got another union member elected out of Pocatello. And in 2022, when nobody else would step up to run for that seat, I instead put my name on the ballot. And I tell you what, it was very, very rewarding. But how did I do that? Honestly, I made democracy my side hustle. And that's what you need to do too. Make democracy your side hustle. Show up for an hour, show up for a day, whatever you can do. Make democracy your side hustle. Let me hear it. Make democracy your side hustle. That's right. So let Bernie light that fire in you tonight. And if there's a meeting you can go to, show up. Make democracy your side hustle. If there's an event, show up. Make democracy your side hustle. If somebody needs help, if there's a candidate running for office that needs somebody to phone bank or knock doors or just fold letters, show up, because that's making democracy your side hustle. Now, as a union guy, I gotta say one of the greatest democratic side hustles you can do, and that's forming a union in your workplace. And if you're worried, maybe you don't know how to do that, AFL-CIO.org, click the link on Form a Union, and they will walk you through it. But that's the greatest way to enact democracy in the United States. That's right. Now, when the call goes out for a general strike, what are you going to do? You're going to make democracy your side hustle. Hit the streets. Support the working class. Hey, we're either going to be in the streets of our own volition and showing our power, or they're going to put us in the streets unemployed and hungry. So make your choice. Which side are you on? I'll tell you what, there's one thing that these oligarchs fear. One thing that they fear. Us, a unified working class. That's right. You can strike a blow, you can slap a fool, but with your open hand, you're likely going to break a finger. Close that fist. Unite the working class. Fight oligarchy. I'll tell you what, this is the way I see things. You hear people talking about the fall of America. This, when the history books are written, this will not be the story of the fall of America. This will be the story of when Americans stood up. Stand up. Make democracy your side hustle. Make democracy your side hustle. Make democracy your side hustle. Do everything you can, because we've got everything to lose. Feel the burn. All right. Next up, we've got Doug and his DEI hires with Built to Spill, your Boise band. Here they are, Built to Spill. Sorry if I took longer than I was.
No, you're good.
Hello. Please welcome to the stage Dr. Penny Beach and Dr. Lauren Colson.
Penny Beach, and I'm speaking representing myself as a family doctor working at a federally qualified health center, or FQHC, right here in Idaho. What's an FQHC, you might ask? It's a partially government-funded, community-based health center that cares for people who have been forgotten by our healthcare system. These are working Idahoans who don't make enough to afford private health insurance, or perhaps a single parent who lost their job and is looking for work but can't work without taking care of their health needs first, or refugees who are trying to start a new life in our community after fleeing violence in their home countries. Or children whose only chance to see a doctor is because of programs like Medicaid. I myself am a product of government programs. I joined the National Health Service Corps to help pay for my medical school tuition. I went to a community health center to do my public service loan forgiveness time. And I continued to work in community health for the last 24 years here in Idaho. Because my service has given me a passion for helping those most in need. Without federal health care programs, many of my patients would have nowhere to go, nowhere. No treatment for their diabetes, no prenatal care, no help for their depression, no help for their addiction. We are not talking about statistics here. We are talking about real people. Real Idahoans. And real consequences if they don't receive health care. Now more than ever, the ability to provide health care in Idaho is under threat. We are 50th, that's dead last, in the country for physicians per capita. We have created laws that criminalize health care providers and have led to almost 25% fewer OBGYNs practicing in the state. We've seen labor and delivery units shut down. We've seen several attempts to repeal Medicaid expansion despite overwhelming public support. Our rural clinics and critical access hospitals are under tremendous strain and struggle to keep their doors open. We cannot keep going like this, and we can't afford some giant federal spending cut that will gut vital programs. It's wrong, and we're here to say enough. For the ultra wealthy, we need Medicare, Medicaid, hospitals, and community health centers. We need to treat healthcare as a human right, not a luxury. Thank you, and please allow me to introduce your next speaker, Representative Todd Achilles, your state representative from District 16.
All right, good evening, Idaho. You know, it's great to have 1A and 2C together tonight because we could finally answer the question, who's the worst drivers? Now, come on, we know what the answer is. We know what the answer is. It's our friends from California. I'm Todd Achilles, your legislator from District 16, that's Boise and Garden City. And a proud veteran. Any veterans here tonight? Woo! Hoo-wah. And I want to recognize my District 16 seatmates, Representative Soni Galaviz, Senator Ali Rabi, all my legislative colleagues, and my amazing partner of 32 years, Robin Achilles. And I want to start by thanking Mayor McLean for standing strong. You know, folks, cities can fly any damn flag they want, and being welcoming and inclusive are Idaho values. All right, wait, hold on. I'm just trying to see if our trade policies have changed in the last 15 minutes. Doesn't it feel like we're living in a fever dream right now? And it only has taken about 4 months for us to shoot down the theory that billionaires should run America like a business. I mean, these guys are clueless. They're running America into the ground, and Idaho families are paying the price. And let's talk about that South African grifter with the chainsaw running around the White House. So his reckless DOGE cuts are causing chaos across Idaho, and I'm going to focus on 2 areas, veterans and public lands. So friends, 1 in 10 Idahoans is a veteran. That's the 6th highest in the US. And DOGE wants to lay off 83,000 employees at the VA, which would devastate care at the Boise VA. These cuts are a slap in the face of Idahoans who served and sacrificed, and we demand better from our electeds. And you know what else the Musk administration doesn't get? They don't understand how much we love our public lands. DOGE wants to break the Forest Service, they want to break the Park Service, and they want to break the BLM. And you know what, folks? Our forests and our rangelands, they're more than natural resources. They're integral to our economy, they're essential to our democracy, and they're core to our identity. Because we all grew up on public lands. We raised our children on public lands, and the hell will let DOGE sell our lands and steal Idaho's soul. So everyone, let Congressman Fulcher, Senators Risch and Crapo know that our lands are not for sale. Not for sale. So if any of you see my dumpster videos on social media, that's where I toss bad ideas and bad bills, and it's time, America, and it's time, Idaho, to toss stoves in the dumpster. And folks, this starts tonight with each and every one of us. Idaho, no one is coming to save us. It's like those big signs you see when you head into the backcountry, right? Prepare to self-rescue. Idaho, it's time to self-rescue. It's time to unite, Republicans, Independents, Democrats. We're going to take back Idaho from the billionaires and the extremists. It's time to build a new Idaho, where we put affordable housing ahead of corporate landlords, where we put public schools ahead of vouchers, where we put health care ahead of insurance. And where we put inclusion and love ahead of division and hate. It's time to restore an Idaho for everyone. And we're going to hand it off to my buddy, Chandler Bursey, president of the AFGE Local 1273. Thank you.
Good evening, Idaho! Woo! Oh, thank you, Todd Achilles, for that wonderful, wonderful speech. All right. Okay, so tonight we're going to talk about Abraham Lincoln's sacred promise, our nation's obligation to care for our veterans. My name is Chandler Bursey, and I am president of American Federal Government Employees, Local 1273. AFGE is made up of thousands of employees, of doctors, nurses, TSA agents, park rangers, and so many more, all of whom are not bureaucrats but hired employees. At the Boise VA, 1,300 federal employees work together to ensure the compassionate care of our veterans. For decades, unions have been at the forefront of protecting the working class by creating a 40-hour work week, fair wages, and health care for our families. Unions ensure that the federal workers have a seat at the table and a collective voice loud enough to be heard. But 2 weeks ago, this administration killed our collective bargaining agreement and no longer recognizes us as a union. Our voice is to ensure that the government works for all Americans, not just the 1%. And now our very ability to care for our veteran community is under threat. Secretary of the VA, Doug Collins, is demanding a reduction in force of 83,000 of us. That means at bare minimum, at absolute bare minimum, at the Boise VA, 300 highly qualified and skilled employees will be fired. Where 1/3 of all VA employees are veterans themselves. If this administration follows through with its plan, it means that veterans at the Boise VA will be pushed into the outside community, which is already rapidly becoming a healthcare desert. As of right now, Idaho does not have enough providers for its current civilian population. Oh, it gets better. Our lawmakers continue to make bad laws against women's reproductive health, and our LGBT community. These laws do not bring in doctors into Idaho, but it gives them reasons to flee. This does not represent the Idaho we all know and love, a place where everyone is welcome. Shout out to my wife, Kelly O'Neill, who is a reproductive rights attorney here in Idaho. So what are we gonna do, Idaho? Roll over and play dead? You're goddamn right we're not. We're gonna organize. We're gonna unionize. And we're gonna fight. We are going to demand our seat back at the table because when labor stands united, we win. Now, bringing it back to the beginning, President Abraham Lincoln's sacred promise was this: to care for him who shall have borne the battle, and for his widow and his orphan. Meaning, if you fight for America, America's going to take care of you. This promise is mounted on the entrance of the DC headquarters of the VA. It adorns the walls of every VA that's ever been built. It's literally etched on the walls. So now is the time to demand. Now is the time to demand from our representatives to uphold this sacred promise to our service members. If you're a veteran, you should be mad. If you know a veteran, you should be mad. Contact her. You should be mad as hell and never back down. Contact Crapo. Contact Rich. Let them know how you feel. Tell them how you feel. Thank you. In the face of Doge's divisiveness and destruction and running around a stage with a frickin' chainsaw, I have a message of hope. When we walk together, we go far. When we listen to each other, we create peace. When we are together, they cannot tear us apart. Arm in arm, brothers and sisters united in our labor movement. Because when we fight, we win. Say it with me. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. Thank you. All right, we're waiting for more people to come into the parking lot and fill this room to the capacity that it should be at. And we're going to be right back, okay? Because we fight! When we fight! is now time for the greatest honor of my life to introduce to you Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Thank you so much for welcoming me, Boise, Nampa, Idaho. Thank you so much. And I want to take the opportunity, and I want to love you right back. I want to thank each and every one of you for making the effort to be here today, for taking the time to join together. You know, it's funny. I was hearing that earlier today on the television. There was someone saying, why is AOC, and why are AOC Bernie going to Idaho? And I'll give you one simple answer. It's because you matter. It's because we matter. My name is Alexandria. Some of you may know me as AOC, and again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for welcoming me. You know, we're here together today because all of us share in the frustration and the heartbreak that comes from watching those in power actively tear down or refuse to fight for everyday working Americans like us. And we're here together because an extreme concentration of power, greed, and corruption is taking over this country like never before. You know, it's bone-chilling. Every day there's something new, and today we just saw President Trump express openness to taking U.S. citizens and sending them off without due process to foreign prisons. It's anti-American. But this concentration of power, greed, and corruption is oligarchy. It's oligarchy in America. And we must acknowledge the terrifying moment that we are in right now, and that what we are hearing and seeing with our own eyes is, in fact, happening. We are watching as our neighbors, students, and friends are being fired, targeted, and disappeared. This is real. People we love are being targeted and harassed just for being LGBTQ. Our workers, our co-workers, U.S. citizens and immigrants alike are being disappeared off the street by men in vans with no uniform. Educators are being fired for teaching American history accurately. And activists are being detained with no charge or evidence for using their First Amendment rights, especially if they are being used to end the war in Gaza. In fact, the Trump administration admits that it has jailed Mahmoud Khalil, a young husband and father from where I come from in New York, without any evidence or charge of a crime. They openly admit that they have thrown him in a cell thousands of miles away because he attended a protest and they did not like the content of his speech. And Donald Trump's detention of Mahmoud Khalil for his speech is anti-American too. And we demand his release, along with the release of Rumeisa Ozturk, who he is also jailing for writing an op-ed in her school paper. You know, Idaho, I am so touched being here. I'm a girl from the Bronx. And to be welcomed here in this state, all of us together, seeing our common cause, this is what this country is all about. Don't let them trick us into thinking we are enemies. Don't let them trick us into thinking we can be separated into rural and urban, black and white and Latino. We are one. And we make these demands because we do have power in this moment. All of us do. Everyday people do. And it will never, this is important, it will never be just institutions and politicians and officials alone that uphold our democracy. It will always be the people, the masses, who refuse to comply with authoritarian regimes, who are the last and strongest defense of our country and our freedoms. It is you. It is you, Idaho. We know that a better world is possible, and we are willing to do something about it. But to get there, we need to be honest about how we got to where we are right now. Because this moment did not come out of nowhere. It has been a long time coming. The destruction of our rights and democracy is directly tied to the growing and extreme wealth inequality in America that has been building for years. And it is not a coincidence that billionaires like Elon Musk dumped billions into this election to elect Trump. And he sure as hell ain't doing it out of charity, Idaho. For years, we have known that our political system has slowly but surely become dominated by big money and billionaires. And time after time, we've seen how our government and laws are more responsive to lobbyists and corporations than the will of everyday people and voters. And we also know that the agenda of dark money to keep wages low and loot our public goods to give to the rich is deeply unpopular with the people, Democrat, Independent, and Republican alike. But just look at what Republicans have been quietly doing in Congress, voting to advance cuts on hundreds of billions of dollars from Medicaid and veterans benefits, so they can take that money and give it to billionaires in the form of tax cuts and sweetheart government contracts to their own companies like SpaceX. And I'll tell you, I've seen Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, talking about Medicaid. First of all, Medicaid, I want you all to know, Medicaid is one of the most efficient government programs with the least amount of waste. Only 2% of people on Medicaid are able-bodied and looking for a job. Only 2%. And I saw Mike Johnson on the television saying, we gotta stop all these able-bodied men from being on Medicaid. First of all, like it's a crime for someone to have health care in America. Health care is a human right in America, and everyone should have it. Everyone should see a doctor. We must end the indignity of not being able to afford medicine, a doctor's appointment, being able to take care of one another. But side, we must know that these cuts are exactly how they are trying to loot. It's not about waste. It's about what they're trying to give to the billionaires who pay them. And you know who voted? You know who from Idaho voted to gut Medicaid for everybody, by the way? Both of your senators, Jim Risch and Mike Crapo. And your House members, Russ Fulcher and Mike Simpson. You deserve better, Idaho. They know that that's not what you want. They know it is deeply unpopular. They know that it hurts the working families of Idaho, but they are not here to serve working families. They are here to serve themselves and the billionaires who pay them. And they know that the only chance they have to get away with such an unpopular and hurtful agenda is to stoke deep divisions along race, identity, and culture to keep us fighting and distracted. It's not gonna work anymore. But this has been the big money playbook, not just now, but it's been their playbook for decades. And that is why Donald Trump is not an aberration. He is the logical, inevitable conclusion of an American political system dominated by corporate and dark money. And if we are to defeat him, we must defeat the system that created him. America, we are at a crossroads. We can either have extreme wealth inequality with the toxic division and corruption that it requires to survive, or we can have a fair economy for working people along with the democracy and the freedoms that uphold it. Oligarchy or democracy. You know, Boise, I grew up in a working class family. My mom cleaned houses, and my dad worked on a small business. And my parents worked themselves to the bone so that my brother and I could have a shot. The American dream, like so many of us here in this room. And for a moment there, it looked like we were gonna make it. We had a home, bills were getting a little less stressful to pay, and I was doing well in public school. And what may have looked like a modest life to others was a dream come true for us. But suddenly, when I was a teenager, my dad was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer. And after a long fight, we lost him. My dad actually passed away in September of 2008, just as the economy crashed in the Great Recession and millions of our jobs vanished across the country. It felt like the world of my family was falling apart just as the larger world was falling apart too. Overnight, my mom was left to figure out how to provide and put 2 kids through school, keep our house, pay off medical bills, all on a house cleaner salary. And that's how I became a waitress, because it was millions of innocent working families back then who paid the price, while the billionaires and thieves who defrauded our financial system got off richer than ever before. And not a single one of them went to jail. And that is the story that Republicans like to mock, not mine, but all of ours, when they say a waitress or a working person is unqualified to serve in Congress. When the fact is, many of us here in this room today are far more qualified to know what real life is like than any of them ever will. And I tell this story not because it is special, but because of how common and normal it is. While the details may differ, so many of us know what it feels like for life to be one bad day, one piece of bad news, one major setback from everything falling apart. And I'm here to tell you today, Idaho, we don't have to live like this anymore. We can make a new world, a better country, where we can fight for the dignity of all people. And that dignity looks like living wages, Idaho. It looks like stable housing. It looks like guaranteed health care and respect for all of our differences, no matter who we are or where we come from. Oligarchy or democracy. Boise, we are here today because we choose democracy. We choose freedom. We choose justice. And that means we must choose to out-organize the oligarchy. We must do away with the power of big money. And that is why, even as a waitress with a long shot campaign for Congress, I decided right then and there that I would never take money from lobbyists and corporations, and I never will. And you know what, Boise? We ran against millions of dollars. We ran with no support. We ran with just the people, and the people won. And the people can win here too. You know, when I first got to Congress, I was genuinely shocked by how the place worked, even having run against dark money in the first place. The everyday influence of corruption and dark money was astonishing. And we, in Congress, have somehow conditioned ourselves to believe that it's normal for elected representatives who have sworn an oath to the people of this country to day trade individual stocks and make millions with the sensitive information that we are entrusted with for the purpose of governing. Just look at what happened this week. But how can anyone possibly make an objective vote on healthcare, energy, or war when their own money is tied up in pharmaceutical, oil and gas, or defense company stocks? You can't. And we saw it just happen with Trump's corrupt and disastrous and rushed tariff scheme. We saw Marjorie Taylor Greene buy that dip. I got one question for her. How much did you make? How much did you make off of people's despair? How much did you make off that panic? How much did you make off of that suffering? No more. We can't accept it. It was all, I hope we see now, that it was all about manipulating the markets so that he could quietly enrich his friends who bought the dip before reversing it all in the morning. Boise, this is a matter of fact. Donald Trump is a criminal who was found guilty of 34 felony counts of fraud, liable for sexual abuse. Of course he's lying and abusing and manipulating the stock market too. When he talks about rapists and criminals, he should look in the mirror. But back to stocks. To be clear, I don't care what party you are, Democrat or Republican. It doesn't matter how powerful one is or the position that one holds. Members of Congress holding and trading individual stock is wrong. It is corrosive, it is destructive, and it needs to be banned. I'll give you another example of something that I found so surprising. Just this year, I happened to be named to the Energy and Commerce Committee in Congress. Now, this is one of the most powerful committees in all of Congress. It controls 2/3 of the American economy. Healthcare, energy, trade, technology, communications, manufacturing. And for years, lobbyists fought to keep me off that committee because they don't like what they don't control. And an interesting thing happened the day that the announcement went out that I was named to this committee. Our phones rang off the hook and our inboxes were flooded by every corporate lobbyist under the sun who suddenly wanted to be my best friend. But you know what, Boise? Because of your support, because of you all showing up, because you allow me to not take a dime in corporate money, you free me to say no. And we can free others to say no too. We have to free others to say no too. Because I've seen how these groups bully and intimidate members of Congress, threatening to take money away from them or spend it against them if they don't do what they want. And what they want is for our lives to be as expensive as possible on the lowest possible wage. And I want us all to understand that this constant pressure that we are feeling in our lives, of the water rising up to our throats, of the impossibility to afford anything easily, of the bitter divisions driven more by online algorithms and the truth, of the fear of speaking up or for being who we are in public, the crumbling of our rights and protections. Understand that all of this right now is what it feels like to be governed by billionaires. This is what oligarchy feels like. Not someday, not in theory, right now. And the first step is to open our eyes and our neighbors' eyes to it. Because of course, it is a system that depends on division to enable inequality, that will favor a president who is the best at dividing us and most skilled at his corruption. And it will also reward the Republicans in Congress who support that agenda, no matter what crimes are committed. Big money is how we got Donald Trump. His whole presidency began with launching tools for bribery, meme coins, and cryptocurrencies to fleece normal people and move money in the dark. Extortion settlements from media companies and the law firms who gladly pay them. The removal of duly elected officials, I'll tell you, even the removal of Republican officials from where the inauguration was happening in order to make room for who Trump really wants in charge, which is the billionaires that were standing behind him: Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk. And all of this has one central economic mission: to make billionaires richer at the expense of our country. And so it does not surprise us that their first economic priority has been to target Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, the firing of our federal workers, and the cutting of our veterans for hundreds of billions of dollars in budget cuts so that they can hand that money off. And Idaho, I know that looking around here, it can feel impossible for Republicans out here to be defeated. But we are here for a reason, because that's not true. It's simply not true. And from the waitress who is now speaking to you today from this podium, I can tell you, impossible is nothing. Miracles start with mustard seeds. And that is what each and every one of you represent today. Small miracles of faith in ourselves, in each other, and in the refusal to give up. for the long haul, Idaho. We're here to flip this state. We're not giving up. From the most impossible place, we will try. For school boards and community associations, for small business groups and town councils, for public art and gestures of inclusion, and we will build from there. It begins today. The work to give Russ Fulcher and Mike Simpson the boot and replace them with a brawling Democrat who will stand up for the working people of Idaho. If places like Tennessee and Kentucky and West Virginia could be blue and go to red, Idaho can go from red to blue. Beyond elections, our task is to build community. Block associations, volunteer groups, church groups, PTAs, because community is the most powerful building block we have to defeat authoritarianism and root out corruption. So when they try to take our school boards and rip down the rainbow flags, we say no, protect our kids here. It's up to you. And on a larger level, this is the path to guaranteeing health care to every American, to establish a living minimum wage, to take on skyrocketing rents and mortgages, to tackle the climate crisis and establish a country where the American dream is actually possible for all of us. So I'll end where I began. We might all come from different places, but we share so many of the same experiences. And so to all those who come here today, unsure of whether or not this is where you belong, I want to say that you do. You do. No matter if you have all the right words to say, no matter your race, religion, gender identity, or status, no matter even if you disagree with me on some things. We saw some Trump supporters were protesting outside. No. See, the thing is, the difference between us is that we want their lives to be better too. We want them to have health care too. We want them to have a better wage too. But the only way that we do that is showing them that hate has no home here. So if you are willing to fight for someone you don't know, you are welcome here. If you are willing to fight for working people regardless of who they are, how they identify, or where they come from, you are welcome here, because here everyone is valued. But we have to stand together, Idaho. We cannot be tempted to turn in our neighbors or be fooled into thinking that we are really that much different than a trans kid who just wants to be accepted by the people around him. We can't be tricked into thinking that we're that much different than the dreamer who wants to come here and fulfill this country's promise. Because hate is a trap that sinks us all. And it is standing together without exception, just as you all are doing today, to reject division. This is the only way that we can win. So I hope that you see that this movement is not about partisan labels or purity tests, but it is about class solidarity. The thousands of you who came out here today to stand here together and say our lives deserve dignity and our work deserves respect, no matter who we are. So we are here to make a sacred promise to one another. Our goal here today is to commit to building the kind of country that we all deserve, and we will make that promise. to take care of each other on our worst days, and to share in the successes of our best. And with that, I want to thank you, Idaho, for welcoming me here today. And now it is my honor to introduce to you the man who has brought us all together. Please welcome the one, the only, Senator Bernie Sanders.
Alexandria, they told us this was a conservative state. They got it wrong. Before I go on, I want to say a word about Alexandria. Yes, she is an excellent congresswoman from New York. Yes, she has been an inspiration to young people all over the country. But I want to say something that is even more important about Alexandria. 6 years ago, she was a waitress in New York City. And she looked around her in a community which has a whole lot of issues. She looked around her and she said, you know what, we can do better. So with no money, no organization, she took on one of the most powerful Democratic leaders in the US Congress, and she beat him. Now, my point is not to grow her ego. That's not my point in saying that. My point is to say that in this arena of 12,000 people, there are hundreds of Alexandrias and Josephs and Toms and Marys. And what we are here today is not just to be with you in this rally, as wonderful as that is. We're here for a deeper purpose, and that is to understand that in this very, very difficult moment in American history, all of us have got to get outside of our comfort zone. We have got to do tomorrow what we hesitated to do yesterday. And as Alexandria just said, when we stand together, when we do not allow them to divide us up by the color of our skin or where we were born or our sexual orientation, there is no stopping us. So I know that there are some pundits out there and they're saying, why does Bernie Sanders and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who come from some of the most liberal and blue states in the country, why are we here tonight? And the answer is we don't accept this blue state, red state nonsense. We are one people. That's right. We are the United States of America, not red states, not blue states. The country now faces some enormous problems, and at the top of the list, we have a nation which is now run by a handful of greedy billionaires. You know, I used to talk about oligarchy, and people say, what is he talking about? Everybody knows what I'm talking about tonight. When Trump got inaugurated, sitting right behind him were the three wealthiest people in this country, Musk, Bezos, and Zuckerberg. And seated right behind them were 13 other billionaires who Trump had nominated to lead major government agencies. You know, some of you remember a lesson we learned in elementary school when Abraham Lincoln was at Gettysburg, and he was on the battlefield where 20,000 Union soldiers had died or had been wounded just a few days ago. And he looked out at that battlefield and he said, we are not going to forget the sacrifice they made. We are going to make a government of the people. That's why we're here tonight. We want a government of the people, by the people, for the people, not a government of the billionaire class, for the billionaire class, and by the billionaire class. And right now, unbelievable, as we speak, you got the wealthiest guy on earth, Mr. Musk. Mr. Musk, you don't hear about this much in the corporate media or on the halls of Congress. Mr. Musk himself owns 5 times more wealth than the bottom half of the households in America. One man. And this guy is running all over Washington, D.C., slashing the Social Security Administration. And what that means is elderly and disabled people will find it increasingly difficult to get the benefits they paid into. This guy is proposing to cut 83,000 jobs from the Veterans Administration. These are the men and women who put their lives on the line to defend our country. We owe them everything. And we're not going to allow Musk and his friends to cut VA benefits. And when we talk about oligarchy, it's not just economic power, it is political power. Right now, in this last election, Musk spent $270 million to elect Donald Trump as president. You get 1 vote, you get 1 vote. Musk gets 1 vote plus $270 million to elect Trump, and his reward is to become the most powerful person in government. But it is not just Musk and the Republican Party. The Democrats have their billionaires as well. And if you want to know why the Democrats over the years have not been as strong as they should be in standing up for working class people, it has a lot to do with the power of those billionaires. So I know that I speak not just for progressives or moderates or conservatives. I think I speak for every American who understands that in our democracy, we cannot allow billionaires to buy elections. In America, one person, one vote, not billionaires buying elections, and that is why we got to overturn this disastrous Citizens United Supreme Court decision. I want to say a word about the oligarchs, because it's something I really don't quite understand. One might think that if you had 10, 20, 30 billion dollars, it would be enough. You might think that. But you know, in America, we have a lot of people who are dealing with addiction issues, drugs, alcohol, or whatever. Well, these guys, these oligarchs, have a major, major addiction problem. And you know what it is? It is greed. They're like heroin addicts. They can't control themselves. They need more and more. And they do not care who they step over in order to get another $1 billion. So we are going to take care of their addiction problems. We're going to end their greed. But brothers and sisters, it is not just oligarchy we are dealing with right now. We are dealing with a president who undermines our Constitution every single day, who threatens our freedom of speech and assembly, and whose agents, as we speak, are rounding up innocent people off the streets, throwing them into unmarked vans, and taking them to detention centers in this country or elsewhere. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? I don't know if some of you saw some of these videos. Woman walks down the street, suddenly car stops. These guys come in plain clothes, masks on, throw her into a car, and whisk her off someplace. Happened in Vermont today. That is what happens in dictatorships, not in democracies. We're not going to let Trump and his friends get away with that. And again, I don't care whether you're a conservative or a progressive. Men and women have fought to defend our democracy and our Constitution. And we're not going to let Trump destroy that Constitution. What this guy wants is more and more power. You know, the guys who wrote the Constitution back in the 1790s were nobody's fools. And they wrote a Constitution which had a separation of powers. You all remember reading about that in the 5th grade? You know, you got an executive branch, you got a legislative branch, you got a judiciary. And each one of those branches keeps a check on the other one. And day after day, what Trump is doing is trying to take power away from the Congress. He's trying to take power away from the judiciary. And right now, he's going after the media. I don't know if any of you saw it. He is now wanting to take away CBS's license because they did a story that criticized him. Oh, my word, CBS criticized him. Oh, let's drive them out of business. How terrible is that? He has sued ABC. He has sued Meta. He has sued the Des Moines Register. This guy cannot take criticism. He can dish it out all right, but he can't take it. And I say to Mr. Trump, if you can't take criticism, get out of the political process. This is a democracy. And if you can believe it, he is going after law firms that represented clients who are in opposition to Trump. And some of these cowardly law firms have caved in. You know, one might think that the function of a large, multi-billion-dollar law firm is to defend the rule of law, not cave in to Donald Trump. And he is putting pressure on universities as well. Good news is Harvard University today said, go to hell. During World War II, when the United States of America and our allies were fighting fascism in the East and in Europe, 400,000 men and women died to defend American freedom. We take, as Americans, as the longest standing democracy on earth, as a country that the whole world has historically looked up to. And they say, we want to be like America. We love the American Constitution. We respect their democracy. We take democracy seriously. We will not allow Trump to undermine our way of life. Too many people have fought and died to defend democracy. But it is not only domestic policy that we should be concerned with. For the first time in the 250-year history of our country, we have a president who is aligning himself with dictatorship abroad. No, President Trump, Ukraine did not start that war. Russia did. But it's not just Ukraine. Trump is following in the rather unfortunate behavior of Joe Biden and wants billions of dollars more to fund Netanyahu's war machine in Gaza. Israel, like any country on earth, has the right to defend itself from terrorism, but it does not have the right to wage all-out war against the Palestinian people. In a territory of only 2.2 million people, Netanyahu has already killed 50,000 Palestinians, wounded over 100,000, and destroyed the entire infrastructure of Gaza. I am doing my best to demand not another nickel for Netanyahu's war machine. And as bad as all of that is, as bad as the reality that American bombs are killing children there is something now even worse. Trump and his friends have the brilliant idea that they want to forcibly expel the suffering people of Gaza, push them out so they could build a Riviera for their billionaire friends. That is absolutely insane. We will not allow that to happen. And let me now tell you just a little bit of what's going on in America that you're not going to see on corporate media and you're not going to hear on the halls of Congress. And that right now in America, we have two Americas. We have on top one America in which the wealthiest people, the top 1%, have never, ever had it so good. Okay, in America today, we have more income. In America today, Okay. All right, let me move on to, I know that this is a sensitive issue, something I am helping leading the effort in Congress. But I do want to say, hold it. What we have also got to focus on is the crisis facing not only the people in Gaza, but the crisis facing the working class of this country. And the way we beat Trump is we develop an agenda that speaks to the needs of the working class of this country, not just the 1%. Today in America, 60% of our people are living paycheck to paycheck. Do you all know what living paycheck to paycheck is about? All right, I grew up in a family that lived paycheck to paycheck in a rent-controlled apartment. I know something about it. All right, you tell me, what is living paycheck to paycheck? You can't pay for the rent. What else? You can't afford what? Can't afford groceries. People, hold it, one at a time. People all over this country want to provide good quality food for their kids. They walk into a grocery store, they can't afford it. What else do you got? What? Health care. All right. People, one at a time. People get sick, and in this country, they can't afford to go to a doctor. We lose 60,000 people a year because they don't have the money to go to a doctor when they should. If you are a single mom, you can't afford child care. If you are a college student, you're going to go deeply in debt to try to get the education you need to get a decent job. Meanwhile, while working families struggle to put food on the table, the richest 1% live in their own fantasy world. You may have seen just the other day, Jeff Bezos took some of his friends to outer space. When they go on vacation, they go to their own islands that they have, fly around the world in their own planes. Our demand is an economy that works for all, not just a few. Now, I want to deal with an issue, and I want you all to put this into your hearts. Back in 1944, long time ago, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, one of the great presidents in American history, Roosevelt gave a State of the Union speech. This was in the middle of World War II, and it didn't get a whole lot of attention. He said, you know what, we have a great Constitution, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of assembly, but you know what we're lacking? What we are lacking is an understanding that economic rights are human rights. So you have the right to vote, but if you're sleeping out on the street, doesn't matter. You have the right to vote, but if you can't afford health care, it doesn't matter. So what we need to do is to understand and not let the establishment beat us down. Economic rights are human rights. What that means is that Musk should not be able to own himself 5 times more than half of the households in America. What it means, and this is not a radical idea. It is not a radical idea. We are the richest country in the history of the world. We are not a poor country. We do not have to have people sleeping out on the street or kids going hungry. We don't have to have 20% of our elderly living on $15,000 a year or less. We don't have to have the highest rate of child poverty of almost any major nation on earth. So what do we have to do? What we have to have is an agenda that speaks to the needs of all Americans, whether you're in Idaho, Vermont, or any place else. Brothers and sisters, health care is a human right. We should not be the only major country on earth not to guarantee health care to every man, woman, and child. We need to pass Medicare for all. Instead of spending $1 trillion on the military, we need to build 5 million units of low-income and affordable housing. We need to have the best education system in the entire world. I want the best and the brightest to go into teaching. I want the teaching profession to be respected. I want us to have free child care. And I don't want our older kids to have to leave college deeply in debt. Free college tuition. And despite what Trump says, climate change is not a hoax. It is an existential threat. We can lead the world and create millions of good-paying union jobs, transforming our energy system away from fossil fuel and into energy efficiency. Let me conclude by reading you a quote from Frederick Douglass. You'll remember Frederick Douglass? He was a great abolitionist, and in the midst of the struggle to end the nightmare of slavery back in 1857, this is what he said, and I quote, "Power concedes nothing without a demand. It never did, and it never will. Find out just what any people will quietly submit to, and you have found out the exact measure of injustice and wrong which will be imposed upon them. And these will continue till they are resisted with either words or blows or with both. The limits of tyrants are prescribed by the endurance of those whom they oppress." Now, what the ruling class of this country wants you to believe is that you are powerless. They got all the money, they own the media, they own the economy, they own the political process. You got nothing. That's what they want you to believe. But tonight we are going to stand up loudly and proudly and tell them we have had enough. This country belongs to all of us, not the billionaire class. Let's go forward. Let's do it. Thank you.